Morning. Saturday morning. It's later than it should be. It's almost 9 o'clock. And I got to run over to the shop, get some gas, and then I'm heading over to Simi Valley to Dave's shop, Dave Vaughn. So I don't know everything we're going to do today. We're going to try to possibly mount the rear bumper. I don't know. We're going to have to custom fab some brackets for that. And then we have to figure out what we're going to do with these pivot points for those swingaways. And we might put the van up on the lift. I don't know. You know, Dave made me another set of engine brackets, engine lift brackets that we came up with. Again, Kai was the guy who sent them to us. We improved upon them. Dave's really doing a lot of the, you know, I mean, he's doing all the work. I just go, hey, wouldn't this be a good idea? And he's like, oh, okay, that's a good idea. I'm the idea guy. I mean, and I am like that. It's funny. Some big company should just hire me because my brain never shuts off, and they're usually pretty good at viable ideas. So the idea I had was, you know, when we're underneath the vehicle and I put the lift brackets in before, the biggest wires, your power wires, are coming, off your starter there, and they're mounted right tight to the engine block. And there's a lot of heat wrap around them, but it bothers me. So I also, what I've learned with this vehicle, all right, is that, you know, when I ended up getting this particular van in 2018. In 2017, I had a cargo version, and you guys have seen, if you're here and you're watching this for the Astro van content, you may have seen me replacing a lot of stuff in this van, all the sensors and everything, and then you'll see some of the wiring stuff. And I'm not a wiring guru, but I've replaced some wires, and I've added wire loom and routed things a certain way, because when I started tearing into this thing, I saw there was wires that the loom was completely gone, and there had been some rubbing, and, you know, luckily I didn't get too many shorts. I found them. I found wires that had been melted to the engine in different spots. That, like, the fact that things were still working was amazing to me. So my point there is that, you know, a vehicle that once it gets over 10 years old, you know, things are going, man. You got a 20-year-old vehicle. What is this? It's a 04, so 14, 20. It's 20 years old now, this truck, right? This year. So they're not designed for everything to last that long. So when I see that wiring, that big hunk of wire tucked right up against the engine block, you know, heat is the enemy. So my thought was, and this is all in theory, I don't know if it's going to be a smart idea or not, but my thought, come on, man, you can see what's going on. My thought is, why not have a hole drilled through the two plates on that engine lift bracket, and then remove that wire from the engine and run it through that hole, space it away. I feel like that's a smart idea. It might not be, but that's what Dave made. So I don't know if we're going to do it today. If we do, you'll see it. But if it's not today, it will happen soon, where once again I'll be removing my brackets, which I made mine a 2-inch lift, and replacing them with the new version and rerouting that wiring. So, and doing it, it's good. It's not like I like having to wrench on this vehicle. A lot of the stuff I've done, I didn't have to do. I did it because I wanted to do it, because I believed it was going to be the right thing to do, you know, for longevity. Most of what I'm doing is preventive maintenance. I had a comment on an old video the other day, and I think it was the temperature sensor on the driver's side of the engine there. It was a real bitch to do, and it was a disaster video. Because I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I didn't know everything was going to leak out of the vehicle and all the problems I had with that. But it worked out fine in the end. But some guy got to me. He's like, hey, man, why did you Why did you do that? What was the impetus behind it? Like, what was happening to the van? Did I have an engine light or something? No. It was, I had been underneath the hood. I'd had this off and I was doing other things. I don't know if it was when I was doing one of the multiple times I was replacing the distributor, or when I was just doing the spark plug wires or what. But the wire coming off of the temperature sensor goes up over the valve cover, and there's supposed to be loom there. The loom was gone, and those two wires were melted down to the top of the valve cover where the insulation was even gone. The fact that they were still doing their job was mind-blowing to me. You're a friggin' idiot, man. These guys are doing road work, and they walk right, they got their vest on, but they got a job to do, but they walk right into traffic like you're supposed to just, it's crazy. Anyhow, as I was saying, you know, I saw that, so I replaced it. Now, a lot of the other things I replaced were just because it's old. As many of you know, I do some pretty crazy, you see me drive around the city all the time like this, but I do a lot of pretty wild adventures in this thing, out in the middle of nowhere, and drive across the country. I've driven this thing across the country 3 times and back, and other trips, so I just I don't want to end up stranded somewhere where I'm working on the vehicle on the side of the road because a part that's been in the van for 20 years went out on me. My thinking is dude, just, you got the truck. Most of these parts, like, well, I'm talking sensors, that sort of thing, they're not that expensive, and replacing them is not that difficult. And when you're in there doing it, you can eyeball things and clean things up and possibly see other stuff. This is a mantra for me with you guys of just getting underneath the vehicle regularly and eyeballing it and looking for potential problems so you can head them off before they happen. That's what that's all about. So anyhow, next shot you'll see, I'll be over at Dave's and we'll be doing our thing. Hope you enjoy it. All right, it's windy today. I got the mic on. Hopefully you guys can hear me. We're at Dave's shop here. There's the Samurai. Got one lift here outside. I think he's been working in the shop here, so pretty cool. These are the engine brackets with the transmission mount. What's this guy's name?
That guy.
Guy should be a movie star. He looks good on camera. Oh, there's one of Savo's things. You gotta take a look at that too. I forgot about it. Look at this job you did on this deck, man. Dude, I mean, did I help you at all? No. I didn't help you with building it, but did I even help with the advice? Or you figured, I mean, you didn't really...
I figured I would want a second opinion and then something to disregard.
Yeah. Dude, that looks great, man.
And I moved the I-beam also so I can use it to get stuff up and down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Really smart. I mean, you wouldn't know by looking at him.
What?
How smart you are.
Yeah, no, You know what GFY is?
Go fuck yourself? It's just a guess. Look at this. He's got a TV in here and everything. All right. Anyhow, let's get to work. We're going to get that bumper out of here?
Yeah.
That's how bad the wind is, man. That's crazy.
You want a regular tripod?
I got one, but this should be okay. I think I just didn't have it set up.
I was going to say a little sandbag, but...
You'll be all right.
Push it back a little bit.
to me, these brackets seem a little anemic. Well, I'm sorry. Super pro show you're watching. Camera was all ajar. Look it down and
Put it down right here for now.
spin it around so they can see the inside of it.
If
What do you think of that? We're going to replace Dave's transmission mount real quick. Then we'll get to the bumper. So Dave's van is a 98, which means he's got the drum brakes on the rear. Everybody in the Midwest is jealous as hell because there's no real rust under here. That's one of the biggest comments I get, is how good the chassis looks. I always thought they were talking about my ass, but no. So you got a little wetness here. So you...
I need to go through it all. I think that's my
You think that's a seal coming out of the... Oh, okay, same with me then. So you might need to do the same thing.
I'll do a pressure wash under it when it's warmer.
Okay, so you pulled your wiring away from the engine already.
Yeah. Okay. I have to go around the mount. Kind of.
All right, so we'll take a look at that when I get the van up there. I'm so jealous of your hair. Like, you don't have a bald spot or anything.
Not yet. I don't let it grow out because when I do, it turns into a giant fluff ball and I look like a...
I don't have to do anything right now. I'm totally useless at the moment. Like a superfluous nipple.
Using tools the way they were meant to be used. Like a hammer. That, stuff can go away. And I need to go get some bolts. These are M12 by 175. I gotta go get a socket that fits these 12-point socket. That's the only bolts I have laying around right now.
What's your name?
Donald. What's going on, Donald?
It's because I do a lot of bad things and I don't want to have my real name on the shirt. I learned that when I worked in the nightclub business.
He stole the shirt.
My buddy had a mechanic shop his whole life. His dad bought it, granddad had it, and recently they tore it down. It was part of my childhood. So before they tore it down, I went over and they gave me some shirts and stuff. I brought back one of your shirts.
Okay.
Yeah. It's all right. Well, I'll introduce you. This is Donnie just arrived. Say hi, Donnie.
Hello.
I guess we have to use Donnie for special things. Like that could come in handy. Your situation here. Yeah. I don't know if we have to wheel you underneath something or something.
Donald is he's hardcore when it comes to four-wheeling, and he used to have a sand rail with hand controls and everything. He used to follow us wherever we went.
Bronco?
Yeah.
Bronco too.
Were you born this way? You got an accident?
I could have been, might as well have been born this way. I was too young to remember. I was 3 years old.
Something happened?
A malignant tumor on my spine.
Oh man.
Right, all entangled in my spinal column.
And do you mind if I talk to you about it? At 3 years old, do you remember any of it?
Not at all, no. I don't remember, I actually learned to walk, but
No
I
kidding.
have no memory of it. I have some pictures, but
Right.
I have no memory.
Oh, that's amazing, man. But then you've still been doing the 4x4 and everything else.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
He's actually looking for an actual van, like an express van or something like that. So we're keeping an eye out.
Well, they're out there with the hand controls and the lifts and everything.
Yeah, well, I don't want a wheelchair van.
Uh-huh.
I just want a van.
Okay.
I'll set it up the way I want it.
So I had a girlfriend when I was in, right when I got in the Marines. She was whatever. But her brother was in a wheelchair, and he was a jeweler, and he had an Astro van that was set up for him, obviously. Right? And he was a funny guy, and he used to go to the clubs all the time. And when I started working in the nightclubs, he would come in, and he would have the prettiest girls sitting on his lap in the wheelchair in the middle of the dance floor having a good time. And again, he was a jeweler. So they wanted to be his friend, you know, like he was definitely working that angle. What, Dave, this isn't done yet? You know, you take the camera away, giving him a chance to get something done.
So things are real, not
Right.
Guess I probably should have put this together first, eh?
You know, it's not like it's your first day at this. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
Here.
I'm gonna have to do that differently. Look at that.
Are those 12 points? You gonna be able to get that a 12-point socket in there?
Oh yeah, easier. I actually prefer 12 points because you can get sockets.
Make sure your bottom holes are lining up.
I'm gonna get a bolt here in a second. Of course, I left the bolts in the other room.
Keep in mind, people, if you're watching this, I mean, I guess you are. Who am I talking to if you're not watching it? So right there, you can see the slip yoke there. When you lift everything, you could run into an issue where you need a longer drive shaft because this will start pulling out on you, and then it'll start spitting fluid. It happened to me. You guys saw it happen.
Yeah, that's next. Okay, so this is a 3-inch riser block to go under the transmission mount to raise the transmission up 3 inches to match the mounts that are in the front that raise the engine up 3 inches. That gets your engine back to where it belongs in the body and lines up the power steering lines. They're not stretched anymore. The transmission cooling lines are not stretched or bent. They go to the radiator. The oil cooling lines are stretched. They go to the radiator. The fan shroud matches. The air box, everything matches. The only drawback is this right here. Need to replace the drive shaft or make it longer.
So I'm looking underneath Dave's van here, and you can see how close the shaft for the CV is to the shock. There's not a lot of room here. So those CVs I want to use from Track Motive may not be able to work here. I guess we'll find out. You know, I might have to come up with a way to reposition the shock, move the shock mounts around. I don't think so. It might be a situation where if they're open to making me a set that the length is correct and just giving them to me, then I can possibly re-engineer where the shocks mount to make it all work. But I won't ask them to do anything until we really eyeball all this and know that I have to do that. It might not be worth the aggravation. So those last couple videos on that subject, even though I was excited the second time, might not be able to pull it off. Being a 98, it's only got one catalytic converter here too, something to be aware of. Yeah. So Dave's done a ton of work on this, including replacing his entire engine.
Yeah, I did.
We'll be getting onto this here now in a moment.
Guess we get the spare tire out of the way.
Oh shit, to do that we gotta open all this up again.
Well, get a ladder. Or you want to drop it down?
I guess we should drop it down then. Well, wait, let's just eyeball what we're gonna do here. So we're definitely gonna take Well, I mean, if you want to remove this, we don't have to remove the spare tire.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's on the outside.
Just have to take these off.
Okay, so wait a minute. This,
That replaces this.
why is that? Oh, that.
This one goes to this side.
Okay, now I see what he did.
Yeah. They just use the factory brackets.
So let's pull the bumper off first.
Yeah, if we pull the bumper off, we can see if the other one mounts without having to take this off.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm way ahead of you. Don't let the tattoos fool you.
Why are you always looking at my ass?
Oh, you know. You got a nice ass, Dave. You know, Dave's got a nice ass. For an old guy with gray hair, a little chubby, he's got a great ass. I think there's something about your belly, the weight of your belly, when you walk, it develops your ass cheeks. That's why I don't have a nice ass. I don't have a big belly. And yes, this is a banana in my pocket, and I am happy to see you. See, if I had my own tools out, I could help you. What is that, a 5/8?
17.
17 mil? Another one? We need some sockets.
Yeah, I got sockets here. Just gotta find the right one.
We don't need to record every second of this. So real quick, we are, Mike's in the way, but there's actually more room here between the axle and the shock on my van than there was on Dave's van, so maybe that would work. I don't know, we'll see. Meanwhile, it's Doug, right? Donald. This is great. No, it's Kilroy. You know Kilroy?
Yeah.
Kilroy was here. only old guys like us that grew up on World War II movies know who Kilroy was. That's so crazy. That was perfect, man. I might have to make that the screenshot for the whole episode here. Look what I see. Looks like a breather hose popped off here. I got to get underneath here and figure out where the heck. Oh, I see where that mounts. This is why you got to get underneath your vehicle every once in a while and eyeball things. That's crazy. All right, I'm gonna have to get a hose clamp for that. Hold that on,
wow.
or a zip tie or something.
To the curb.
Wait. You want to do which side?
I'm gonna do your side, and you're gonna hold it.
Go for it.
I think. Oh wait, we still have these bolts here.
Oh yeah, look at that.
All right.
And those are two-sided, and they're square on this side.
The square on this side is going to be it's welded to that bracket.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
So what size is that?
It feels small, 13 or 14 maybe.
That's what she said.
She's never said that. She's never said that.
Here. So yeah, I'll bring work this week. It's dirt. It's dirt. Part of the Mojave Desert.
This is why I got that electric ratchet. It would be nice for removing these right now. I think I'm recording there. Sorry. Wah, wah, wah.
To decide to come here, guys.
Huh?
I said it was hard for me to decide to come here.
You can only take so much of them too?
Yeah.
All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Is there any other bolts that we're missing?
Born ready, man.
All right. Where is it? Oh shit, where's the socket at?
You need a socket
Yeah.
for it to work.
Is it loose? The whole bracket?
Oh, there's one more up here. Shit.
Jesus Christ. It's been a while since we've
How the hell are you going to get into that?
swivel socket probably. Sure. Alright, that's safe size.
Did they listen to that? No,
See if we can get that loose, and I'll go get a swivel socket.
I see one of your stickers on your windows. I have on one of my model airplanes.
Which one?
The AR-15 Bolt.
Oh yeah, a lot of guys don't know what that is.
That's why I put it on my airplane.
Yeah, I was in the Marines, you know, so it was like my brother had that sticker. I knew what it was automatically. It's a popular thing, but matter of fact, my brother made that sticker.
Oh, don't you?
Yeah.
You the first one to come up with it?
No.
Or you made that sticker?
Yeah, he made that one, but I think they exist right now.
I bought mine on the internet.
All right, they're both busted free. Let's get the stinking bumper off of here, huh? Shit, the trailer hitch mounts over it. You have to loosen the trailer hitch bolts, and then it'll slide right out. That's cool. All we have to do is loosen these, and then this whole bumper will slide right out.
We'll both grab one end.
What's coming first?
Everything. Grab it maybe in the middle.
See, I got it? Yeah, just like that. Grab the bumper end. There we go. Swap.
Go back.
Go back to there.
There.
Oh. High-tech ladder jack.
You know, it's rated for a couple 100 pounds, huh?
Because Dave loves telling me to go fuck myself. Little as you know, I actually can. I got it.
Totally different video.
I got it. Just gotta feed the bolts in. Get on the other side. Get the other bolt first. Well, we might be able to burn it. Phil's fabricator is no joke. I mean, that guy knows what he's doing.
It's got good welds on the brackets. Go to the passenger side if you can.
Oh, passenger side? Yeah.
This is a washer. First one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to take this one nut off right through the water. Okay, I would say that we got all these in now. I think we can tighten these up.
We'll get the other bolt then. So that whole video yesterday, make me doing that whole step on the trailer hitch. We should tighten that up, get it on there. We're gonna have to lower it to eyeball it for center and up and down, and then. But yeah, go ahead, get the brackets in first, and then what we'll do is we'll put it back up and we'll see if we can mount the trailer hitch anyhow, just for the hell of it. And then these holes here are for brake lights.
Brake lights or backup lights?
Either or, I suppose, because those swingways are designed so the brake lights are still visible. But it'd be a good idea to put them in.
Although you already have them.
I have that giant backup light, which is not wired yet. That thing really does stick out past the sides more than I had anticipated. I honestly don't know that I'm going to be able to get that down the driveway. You know what we could do?
You don't have to do the mirrors when you go down the driveway.
Yes, I do. Yeah. So what we have to do is we have to get a straight edge or something and measure what that distance is, right, from both sides, and then measure what this distance is. Because if it's the same distance or less, I'm okay. But they put shit down here that I hit all the time and knock over.
Kind of shit.
Got shit out there by the back door. Plants and stuff, you know, whatever. It's a problem. Yeah, that's definitely sticking out further than the mirrors. I don't understand. Also, it's not centered. So this one here, the gap is 2 fingers. So we might get lucky. This whole thing might actually work. Don't break my shit.
Get it?
It's a WD-40 is what I need.
You were on the other side before, by the way.
What?
You were over here on this side.
Yeah, I know. I need something to pry that out. But some WD-40 would be fantastic. Okay. So we just I'll show this in a second, but we might get lucky. I'm not giving up. Can we open these things again? I forgot to
Check all this little thing.
So these things stop here, and I thought it wasn't enough. We're hitting the fence, so that would typically open more. Oh, this won't open all the way. It will, but let go. Oh, you mother! I'm not undoing it right now. But this one here will open to this point, and you know what we're thinking here is that maybe that's enough. Maybe that's enough for that door to open.
I think it is.
What do you think? I think we might not have to modify anything. And now the next thing is to see if I could drive it down my driveway. If that's the case, I can mount the tire on it, put the box on it, and everything. I want you all to say a little prayer right now. But say a prayer. Don't say the prayer going, we hope it doesn't work because we want to watch a disaster. Say the prayer, we hope it works. Yeah. All right, fuck it. Let's give this a shot. Let me get the lid. So we just realized, right? What did we say? We think that he cut this end off and just capped that.
Right.
But the stock length is the stock length they bought it at.
For an express van or something wider.
Something like that. So, because we're looking at this and we can see that this is way wider than it needs to be, and I'd like to tighten the 2 ends in. And Dave just suggested, instead of trying to cut all this away and redo it, cutting it somewhere in here.
The box ends right here.
Yeah.
So just half an inch over from where the box is.
Yeah, and then we can do this measurement here. Shit, we could even trim that a little bit more. Let's call it 1.5 inches. So we cut this, we take 1.5 inches off this material, butt it back up, and re-weld it. And then
Both sides.
On both sides, and then we've got plenty of room here, so they can get tighter together. It doesn't matter if they cover this because you can't open this unless these are open anyhow.
Right.
And then we can readjust these so they'll catch in the right spot.
You bolt.
We're gonna have an issue with the ramp. Is that? Oh no, that's bolt.
It's bolted in place.
Ah, sweet.
It's actually plastic too.
That's Duralast or something probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can adjust that over.
And those holes can be filled when all the welding
So
is
listen,
done.
if you're in Los Angeles and you're an aluminum welder and you want to hook a brother up, I'll trade you for a custom watch band with a really nice watch on it. Yeah, we got to figure this out.
Yeah, but I think that's the best way to go.
But for now, I'll leave it on like this, and I'll drive it home, and then I'll see if I can get down the driveway with it. I mean, if I can't get down the driveway,
You're coming back.
I'm coming back because we got to replace it. So that's just how it goes. Well, it's only shit, dude. It's pretty early.
Yeah.
I could do that today.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, since we don't have to do anything else, we thought about doing those engine lift brackets, but we don't have enough time to get those in there, I don't think.
I'd rather see you on video try and do them under the van. Not with
On
the
my
lift.
back?
Yeah.
What a pal. What a friend.
Everybody else would like to see that.
I've
too.
done it before.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I mean, now that it's done already, I might have to show everybody, hey, you can do it on your back. Let me show you a few things you can do on your back, ladies. So, as I was saying here,
This channel just got demonetized for children.
if it hasn't been demonetized yet, I think we're pretty safe. So you think just leave it as it is for now for the drive, see what
Yeah.
happens.
Leave the box here. There's no reason to take it home until later
Right, and then
because it is covering up your license plate.
so we're gonna do it. We're gonna do a little test here, and then, like I said, though, I think that's the right way to do this. Cut this, shorten it, but I can't do that.
I mean, you could technically cut it and bolt it together temporarily until you find somebody
Put a
to
plate
weld it.
behind it or something.
Yeah, until you find somebody to weld it properly, if need be.
Shit, what a fucking job. Hey, was Aluminess, you watching? Is anybody from Aluminess watching this?
Easy way to make it for the van.
Yeah. You guys got to make this so it's a little tighter right here. I don't know I hope we can see on camera here.
You gotta go over more.
There we go. That's perfect. So you guys can see how much space there is.
It's a good 2 fingers worth of lift.
Yeah, there. And but you think about how that's almost 4 fingers, 3 fingers here. You can see how much tighter that can go to the van. And if that once that gets tighter in the van, it's going to make it easier for me to put some sort of bracket here that'll attach to this, so this thing can't. Because right now you can see this moves. You can imagine the weight of the tire and the box with tools in it. And actually the whole, see how the whole bumper here. You guys can see that. Watch the bumper when I do this. So the whole bumper twists.
Yeah, and that's the aluminum twisting, not the bracket.
Right. Brackets are tight, but the whole bumper moves. So that has to get attached up. There's no way around it. And that's just me. So, shit.
Let's put it up and see if that.
We're going to see if we can get the tow hitch on. Okay, so Dave has a pal who's an aluminum welder, and we just called him and sent him some pictures. He's going to get back to us, but we think maybe the easiest way to go is channel 5 inches directly out of the center of this thing, put it back together, shrink the sides in, trim the lid down, and that'd be the way to go. So if this guy says he can do it, and I can swing it, and we find all this out now, you think, within the next half hour or so? If that all works out, then we're taking this off right now. We're putting the bumper back on, and I'm just going to leave this here and get it to him and let him do it. So, alright, so listen, just to recap that convoluted fiasco you just witnessed. Everything's fine. So the bumper mounts up well. You saw it's got some weird flex here and there, so we came up with a bunch of ideas. Dave called his buddy who's an aluminum guy. He's bringing it over to the guy's shop Monday, and he's gonna cut it in half, and he's gonna remove 5 inches from the center of that bumper. We're gonna shrink that thing down, and then we're gonna custom fit it to the van after the fact. And then right now, the way it's mounted, there's the 2 center mounts for the standard Astro van bumper, but then there's 2 outer ones, and they're not used with that new bumper. I think we're going to try to figure out a way to make those 2 outer ones work and possibly cut through the back plate of that new bumper. It's a Aluminess bumper, and add some steel to those other brackets so they can kind of mount to the front part of the inside of that Aluminess bumper to help us with flex a little bit. But then, yeah, I'm probably likely still going to make a bracket on the top of those poles that the parts pivot off of to attach it to the sidewalls of the van. But the bottom line is I'm gonna get that bumper to shrink 2.5 inches on each side tighter to the sidewall of the van. And everything's gonna work. The box will still work, the spare tire is still gonna work. We're gonna make it better, that's all. It's gonna be mo better, more heavy duty. And it sounds like he'll get it done this week. So in the next couple weeks, of course, I got to paint it after that and everything else, you know. And I think it's powder coated now. I do know a powder coating place. I brought a bicycle frame too. I didn't do that. No, I brought my wheels for this van. So maybe I'll go over there and have it done. I'll talk to Dave about it, but it's going to get done. It's going to get done. I'm not even disappointed. Of course, I would like to have this done already. Oh, and the other thing that you notice is with those things open, I think the rear door is open enough. Maybe they don't have to open all the way out for me to still work. So we're going to do it as it is. And if those swingaways don't open enough for me, then I'll change that at a later date. But the main thing is, let's get the bumper mounted and let's live with it and see what happens. And I'd really like to get that on and running ASAP. I'd like to have that on there for the March. There's supposed to be a road trip in March where I go out to the desert, out to Saline Valley. So it would be nice if that was hooked up and the recovery gear and everything was in that big box in the rear and everything was set. You know, make more room on the inside of the van and some of my storage areas where I'm carrying extra fluids and, you know, recovery gear and whatnot. My tool bag, all of that. Get all that in that giant rear box. It's going to make the inside living area a lot nicer. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this. The next one will be better, right? I always tell you that, but let's face it. It's a 50-50 shot, man. Sometimes it's a good video, sometimes it's not. And you always let me know. Have a good day. I'll catch you guys in the next one.